Damian. Damian.
Hello everybody. The inquiry project or topic that I've been studying all quarter was should college athletes be paid? This is a highly debated topic, and even though like college sports have been around for like a long time, like it's just now being like brought back up or realized that like how like much they do and how much like they don't like get paid, and so the first topic is like recognition. As bad as it sounds, like Oregon and they're not known for like their academics really. Like when someone hears of like Oregon, they think of like their football team and like their fancy jerseys and whatnot, and which is like kind of true because I mean you see people walking around with Oregon like football jackets and like like Oregon like biology class jackets or whatever. So and then like millions like of jerseys and jackets are sold every year, which is money that the players are making. And like sports really give colleges their names. And I have a video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a video. Oh, it's on.
Returned by Chris Davis. Davis goes left. Davis gets a block. Davis has another block. Chris Davis. No flags. Touchdown. Falcons. An answered prayer.
Alright, did you guys see all the fans that were there? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There were over 60,000 fans at that game. And like, the average ticket was $254. That was paid for like a seat. And then, all the fans were there to watch the players. Like, they weren't there to watch the coach. They weren't there to like, for the concession snacks. Like, they was there for that big game and the players that were playing in it. And, the players received like zero money for that game, even though like there was like probably close to like $500,000 like that was spent on that game. That I mean, how fair does that sound? Like people are spending tons of money to watch you play, and you don't really get any credit for it at all. All right, so next slide. So March Madness. This is like a time of the year where it's like a big tournament with like all the major colleges, and March Madness generates $1.15 billion on. That's just like on TV, like the national like TV. So that's what people like watching the commercials. That's really expensive. That they make more than the in 2013 they made more than the three major like sports in America. So like the NFL, NBA, and MLB, like their postseasons, the March Madness made more than them. And then once again, like they were there to watch the basketball players, so like it wasn't for anything else. Another thing is dedication. College sports are like a double, like it's like a job, another job after school. They like have 2 days, which means like they go to practice for like 3 days, and then they like go to school. They practice in the morning before school, and then after school they have another practice. Typically like 4 to 6 hours a day. And they're still expected to keep up on their schoolwork and everything else, so that's hard. And then their summer's taken all up by sports. And I kind of can relate to this because like the football program here and like basketball. If you play like both of those sports, then you have no summer, and it's terrible. And then a few players that like kind of were affected by it were Johnny Manziel and like Shabazz Napier. And Johnny Manziel kind of got in trouble with the like college NCAA because he was like signing jerseys and selling them for like money. and he was selling them because like it was like extra money and like, which I don't think that's wrong. So I think he was suspended for a few games, but like I don't think he should be punished for that because like that's the least that he could have done. And then Shabazz Napier, UConn were the champions in a year ago in the NCAA, and after in one of his interviews after the game, he told the reporter, it somehow came up, but he told the reporter that like some nights he goes to bed without eating, and so that was like kind of hard and stuff. It's like the less revenue producing sports like badminton, tennis, swimming, golf, diving, track, and typically the women's sports like don't get the attendance that men's sports do. And so like people might say if college athletes were to get paid and they don't like these sports don't generate as much as like football and basketball, but they've like talked to people like tennis players and swimming, and they said like if they took like a percentage of it, since they know that they don't, and they said they were fine with like any percentage or like a little percentage because like it's better than nothing what they are getting now. And then in a book that I read, which is called Should Athletes Be Paid, there's a good quote. It says, Ronnie D. Ford said, if athletic directors cut sport or reduce spending on sport, they're cutting down the department's net revenue, which is like, so if they're gonna like take out sports, or they're just cutting down on like the money that they're making, because like the sports are making money, maybe not maybe like a lot, but like the major sports like football and basketball, they're making a lot.